So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We have 5 days left remaining until my sub goes out, so during that time we are going to make it to the end. Now, I have recorded a lot of stuff in between, and I have pretty much cleared out all the side quests. I've done all the Moogle quests, I've done all of the A Realm Reborn job quests, so all that remains is the relic weapon and the MSQ. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to grind for the stuff that the relic weapon is going to need, and I don't mind doing it post-hiatus. So we are just going to gun it for the end of the MSQ. So my next couple of streams are just going to be going straight for Before the Dawn. And hoping we make it to the end! Huzzah! So let us get started on that. A simple plan. Back in Mardona. And then we're gonna be Gucci. Good to go. And it is so hot right now, so sorry if I sound like a little winded. We're still in that heat bubble. It's getting better, but it's so humid that even though the temperature's gone down, it's still just as hot. That's another reason I did it offline in segments the other day, is I needed to take breaks, otherwise I would get a heat exhaustion in this studio. So I would literally record a segment, then like step out and lay in front of a fan, literally just plank myself in front of a fan, and then come back and record some more. Repeat process. A simple plan. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetherite in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shinva, using the crystals she stole from the House Fortemps caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall, but first we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. Very curious how it's reckless so long as she has another means to get out. Do they explode or something? After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Sharlayan. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Alright, guest from Sharlayan. I guess there's still a few residents of that left. Wait, anybody else here? Yeah, you too. Only those with proven expertise receive the mark, as our newcomer has. Pay no heed to her manner. Master Louisoix did think quite highly of her. On the other hand, so does Ida. Yes, she's still juggling. That is a lot of talent, though. To be able to juggle like that. It's hot where you are as well. Yeah, I heard UK was getting a heat wave, too. The arrival of a newcomer has been ever the cause of celebration. Doubly so when they're an attractive young lady. A bard could wish for no better audience. Mayhap I should regale her with the tale of our battle against Leviathan's thralls, how I soared over my opponent's axe and brought him low with my blades. Sir, you're a rogue, not a bard. Or are you both? A rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly we are fortunate to count Lady Yugiri as a friend. Anybody else? Oh, Ida's over here. I can't wait until she gets here. We have so much to talk about. I'm assuming she means the Sharlayan teacher we're going to meet. Thancred's tale of Lady Yugiri almost buggers belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. So is Thancred praising himself, or does he actually have a crush? Excuse me. Sorry, the air quality is also really bad, so I might cough periodically through this. It's foggy, and that means all the smoke and stuff gets trapped down here with the fog. Which in turn means it's hard to breathe. What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before via Link Pearl, of course, but it is not the same. There's a colony on the mainland, which is the one that people fled. The main Sharlayan is fine, though. Oh, okay. I still don't know much about the lands. I'm guessing we'll get there eventually, someday. Cute earrings with the cherry blossoms.
Moenbryda, am I right?
Oh, voice acting. Main character.
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
She has the Mark II on her neck.
Moenbryda is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar
And her leg.
an authority on Aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
So, we're gonna one day turn a crystal into a Pokeball for peoples? Just a thought. For an outpost in an ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. It goes to show that you never know until you know. Moenbryda or Moenbryda? I think it's Moenbryda. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss. Moon. Oh, and I did change a few things around for some of my classes. AoEs, not AoEs. HUDs. Word is HUD. The HUD's a little bit different, and so is stuff in chat. I made it just a little bit easier for me to read. Okay, you guys just stay the same stuff. Probably doesn't change until I actually finish a quest.
It's been ages!
Yeah, it is Moon.
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
We'll just be soul sisters then.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moenbryda join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
Kind of reminds me of a fantasy light bulb.
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
I can't tell if he's happy to see her or annoyed.
Orianche, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I'm gonna go with the latter. Oh my goodness.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me.
You said that your aptitude was different from Yda's. I beg to differ.
I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oh, it might be both.
Go on.
We've never seen this side of Orianche.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then? You're missing Aetherite.
Gosh, I can't tell if he genuinely has a crush on her and isn't willing to admit it, or she has a crush on him, but takes it too far.
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate.
Freaky to think about.
However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Would it be possible to put like a tracking device through that instead of a whole person and then just, you know, go on foot? So we don't die?
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process.
Oh,
They,
goody.
however, did not have wide aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the Aetherite. However, White Auracite cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options.
I just gave you one.
If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moenbryda's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Yeah, it's only our lives on the gamble. What could possibly go wrong? The instruments of our deliverance. I have already informed Alphino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moenbryda described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, and I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. I'm not a magical carrier pigeon, Nymphilia. Moenbryda is a brilliant and dedicated scholar. I would not have endorsed her plan were it not so. Yeah, but you're not going, are you? Too bad Warrior Blade is not the one with brain cells. Indeed. Can't we send a magical tracking device instead? Stick a link pearl and a crystal and just yeet it into the void, and then follow the link pearl. I shall pray for your safe return, yours and the others. Thanks, I probably need it. Okay, we go to Snowcloak. Over to Kurthus. Alright, this way. Bit of a long flight. But I will. Well, at least now that I've gotten all the other job quests done, I do feel like I fully understand each and every one now. At least the ones from ARR. I really struggled with Scholar the first time I played this game, but now I fully understand it and kind of like it a little bit better than White Mage. I thought if I was going to main a healing class, it'd be White Mage, but now I kind of like Scholar. It's almost like when you take time to actually learn the classes, you might come to enjoy them. What a concept. Trust the power of the White Auracite. And in me, of course. Good to see you. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Captain Ilberd sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Elaine Royale and Ulda even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can only discuss the Ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetherite. See you, Scion. See you, Aether Cowboy. It kind of is technically a form of space if you think about it. There, it's ready. Well, I guess it's not my first time stuck between the realms. Crystal Tower did it to me too. Huh, it worked, I think. Yes, I feel so safe, Moenbryda. Try tuning to the Aetherite now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shinva. It just made me realize Thancred's out here in sandals. Bro, aren't your toes cold? I have a mind to join you, but Urianger made me a promise I wouldn't. Apparently the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I'd give her the chance. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moenbryda's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person, and asks that I return you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Nightmare, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. This is like getting a greeting card before you go off to war, man. Where others would flee, you would choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Halon bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. You're still making me do it by myself, dude. The greeting card don't make it any better. It is not a matter of training your eyes, I fear. Without knowledge or serendipity, we would never find every tunnel. The very land comprises against the broken ice ever reforming to conceal the entrances. You say anything? Nope, can't even target you. Targeted my little dude instead. Of all the myriad challenges you have faced, I should be amazed if it were a failed teleportation attempt that finally killed you. Pray do not surprise me. Pray don't remind me of it. Alright. Oh, do I not have the option of going in with a trust? Well then, some of these aren't completely... Oh dear! Oh my! I have to be social today. And potentially wait on duty registration. It's an 8-man trial. Oh. Shoot. Well then. Fiddly-dee. You know, there's that healer strike going on. I kind of wonder... if I might get in faster this way. Whatever gets me in. Oh no. This I was not expecting. What do in meantime? What do? What do? Let's see. Beast of Brewer's Beacon. Methodina's Malice. The other one requires me to go in a dungeon to work on the relic weapon. Otherwise, I'd go do, like, that kind of grinding or something. Why didn't you add a trust to this if it's story-based? Why? Is the side quest? What's a side quest? Some of these. Greatest story never told. Could be one. This is fishing. Trying to think if there's any other side quests that we could do in the meantime. Short little things. Oh, never mind. Use healer shortage to advantage and hope I don't screw it up for everybody else in the process. Come on, DPS. I believe in you. Yeah!
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more.
She's gonna become Shiva.
Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Because this is diamond dust. The question is she becoming Shiva or has she always been Shiva? Because Shiva in other Final Fantasy games has this tendency to hide and pretend she's a mortal woman. Everybody's probably waiting on me. Sorry. Let me also, really quick, drink some juice. Summon. Get sucker to be. Oop, not that. I moved my stuff. This appears to be space yourselves out. So get this charged, just in case. Get everybody a little shield, just because I don't know where this is going. Bio. Bio for everybody. Let's go. Don't forget to sucker. You could use a little more. You are tanking. Oh, shit. Let's get you. Good dose. And she's gonna diamond dust us. Snap. Yep. Gotta love the classic Shiva snap. Right, dude, you do poison. Keep an eye on everybody. Healer, I always gotta look more to the left. Oh, hey, actual lyrics. Oh, okay, okay. Didn't know that was coming. I'm gonna be standing right in somebody's... I gotta resummon Eos. Get out here, girl. Looks like the bard. Wait, hurry. Gotcha. You good? Are you, like, tempered or anything after that?
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause.
Well, I mean, if you run out of people, then there was no point, is there? No sacrifice too great? What of your own people?
You do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers.
Then explain it to me instead of talking in emo riddles.
And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why.
I am asking why, you won't tell me.
Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth.
Also, this floor feels designed for somebody to trip on. It's so uneven.
Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift.
You mean the Mother Crystal?
Hear, feel, think.
Just tell me! There's nothing keeping you from telling me while here. We're by ourselves. It's just you, me, and the moon. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Thank you for the vote of confidence. Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravidians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough. I was only asking. Switch back to Dragoon in case there's any actual I need to hit things. Scholar is very good at healing. Its downside is that it does almost no damage. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you had best pay a visit to White Brim Front and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. Battery's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure that he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? No reason. I didn't hit... Well, actually, I did hit my head, considering the damage I took in the fight, but see you again soon. Oh yeah, and I have a whole bunch of grape juice, just because, one, it's really, really easy to manufacture and create. It's such an easy recipe and easy to gather materials for, and it increases spell speed and piety, which is better healing. So I always tend to drink some if I go in as a healer. That's right. A little boost can't hurt. But yeah, I didn't know where the one mechanic was gonna go, so it got me. Sorry, healer. Other healer. I stuck with AoE shielding just because I didn't know the mechanics and where stuff was gonna go. That you stand here now is proof of your mission's success. Praise be to Alone. 'Tis customary to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. There they are, and none worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But we stopped the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Bren to thank. Yes, you're right. Of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. There is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillamont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortem's caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. And I know Fortemps isn't pronounced like that, but I can't remember how to say it in French. Forton? Forton? I don't... On an unregulated note, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Men give vent to their anxieties in a myriad of ways. Please do not think less of him. Wait, which knight do you speak of? Do you mean Harshafont? Nope, I'm good. 'Twas well you came here, else we would not have won this day. Only a knight-errant may break a stalemate, my lady mother used to say. Your deeds are known to the front, but false would I speak if you said you were accepted by all. Pride hardens resolve, and hearts alike. Alright, Camp Dragonhead, which is... Oh, I can just warp back, actually. If it's right next to the crystal, we will be lazy. If our business here is concluded, we should attend to Sir Emmerich in the intercessory. You know, it's kind of funny playing as Aura, because there is almost a weird air, almost as if Haurchefant has a crush on us, but at the same time he's also a person who's simultaneously like, oh, laying with dragons is one of our greatest sins, and it's like, pick a side, my dude. What were you thinking? Wagering your very being on dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway. Oh, I'm immune to that, don't worry about it. And then, engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages, would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wander at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish to torture on my most hated enemy. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. Ah, but here you are now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. I can't tell if he's mad or proud. Pray go on ahead without me. Another matter requires my attention, but I shall join you anon. I'm guessing it's in the other room. Greetings, I should show you inside at once. Yes, please do. The code out here.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment.
Also, not all the Ixal in Natalan are tempered to Garuda. Some are literally just trying to escape the Shroud.
Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with the Pope. Something's wrong here.
You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
Wouldn't be the first dragon.
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
I should probably mention, too, really quickly, that I did record the Binding Coils of Bahamut, so I do have that story under my belt. But I need time to edit all that together because, oh my god.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
He said you're using the dragons to potentially be hermits.
What sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget. One born of necessity.
Necessity of you not getting off your butt.
The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you.
That's not what causes corruption, but...
Which reminds me, Lord Orshafon, if you would be so kind.
Her. It's pronounced Hershafon. Okay.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem.
Is this a bribe?
The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
It's complete. So I met Best Twin? Yes, I did. I met Best Twin and many other things as well. Let us see. Eyes unclouded by hate. It would seem we have so much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reprisal of the primal threat, and of our approaching to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that our mere existence is a threat to the very star. As such, they see any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Have I met Lucia before? Sort of, but not really. She's sort of played a minor role up to now. Imagine, then, if it becomes known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but our civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we will well find ourselves in facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, it's better we continue this conversation in Mordona. Less eavesdroppers. Not as cold. Why can't we find a zone that's just 75 degrees all the time, man? Summer's too hot and winter's too cold. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. True. It is not the fault of Sir Emmerich for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the Highborn are beyond the reach of Inquisition. Nobody expects the whip in Inquisition. Oh, thank Red. What you two do is your own business. Don't say I didn't warn you. Trying to tumble the table now, are we? Don't give up yet, boy. Ida, line 'em up. What on earth is happening here? Hey, I just gotta say, you're a pretty, you're alright. Thanks. Eesh. Someone get Thancred some water. Ah, forgive me. I thought he had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. What, are we out of food? What is happening here? What if... I feel like I missed a party or something. Did you guys get drunk and eat all our food?
Well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole.
I'm out risking my life and you guys are partying and eating all the food in the tavern. Come on, man.
Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
This patch is canonically right before the last coil. I see.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Okay, then when I release it, it should come out relatively close to this then. Because I'm going to have it air after the final job quest.
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogulmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Oh, it's Mogulmog. It's not Mooglemog, it's Mogulmog. Oh my gosh. I've never noticed that.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
Well, maybe Shiva's not like the other primals.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
Maybe Shiva's the one that's special? She's not as engy as the other primals. Or summons, I should say, in the Final Fantasy games. She often helps us.
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Oop, dang it. It went by so fast. I went to talk to her because I thought maybe it wouldn't pop up, but then it did. Oh, server lag. I mean to scour the annals of knowledge from Midgard-Zoma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few... Do you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss? There seems to be some manner of commotion without. Pray see if aught is amiss. Like I said, I wish she'd taken time to talk to me about it. We might have actually been able to resolve some of these issues. Alfino? Ren, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Royale has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She'd been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. I mean, it is jail, man. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Royale quitting the city via the Gale of Nald, with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castrum Meridinium, and I'm certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot upon Royale's heels. Pray make to haste at Camp Blue Frog and join the hunt. Lady recaptured escaped. There's little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem that I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. Maybe keep it as like a side hustle. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. We already read that one. Okay, you guys don't say anything new. Thancred's still unconscious on the table. And we're heading to Northern Vanaland. Yeah, I'm gonna release the binding coils all as one video. I mostly got assistance with it because I'm too low level to do it myself, though I did make a valiant attempt. My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Royale worked through the camp not a bell ago. And she walked right through. Did you not mishear? We have Rauban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Royale must be not allowed to reach Castra Meridinium. Warp to the other one, then. I will probably go back one day to do it myself. Solo, to show it off that way. Especially since there is stuff to farm. But there was just no way with my current gear sets. Some of those bosses had very specific mechanics. And pretty much everything I read says they recommend you be level 80 with 80 gear, which I cannot get yet. Was that really necessary? I had better be compensated for the additional exertion you caused me. Ooh, level sync. Which means fight's coming our way. This wretch with Royale, he threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the goddamn harpy. With me, Cyan. We almost have her. Ah, she's in their garb, too. It looks like Garlean steel. With Royal alive, kill the rest for Eorzea. Can I target an enemy, please? You'll not take me so easily next time. This one's a bit more HP. Then you get treated like a boss. Provided I don't land in a danger puddle. Things. Can I not target them? I don't think I can. I should probably take care of the other ones. My NPC friends don't seem to be faring that well. I'll leave her with the poison and take out some of these. More reinforcements, they really aren't paying me enough. You guys are getting paid? Oh, now I can target it. The hell? Didn't assume it could be defeated. Gonna put poison back on her. Keep her busy. Not. Yeah, there's healers somewhere. Oh, you have story HP. That's what you had. You have plot armor. She won't die until I take out everyone else. I see what's happening here. I defeated her too quickly, technically. The game won't let me win. buffer doesn't die. Must you be so annoying? Let's try not to danger puddle ourselves. Forgive us our lateness. Hey, Yugiri. Oh my god. What the franchise? So much stuff is going on. Here, mine. We die in like 1 or 2 hits now. Damn it, there's still one left. Thank you. So much chaos everywhere. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. She has a tendency to weasel out of these. You know, I wasn't expecting him to be a healer, what with the sword and paladin getup. Good work, man. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. I didn't realize you could target the hands at the beginning. It wouldn't let me. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you so fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth it for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-bornish guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, and even whoring myself. Is that no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the flames? Dare you tell it? One would think you were the only person to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Reborn himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we'd been dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different, then? 'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. For whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it's that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. Join the Crystal Braves that I might strike a blow against the Empire. Those who cast their lot with Garlemald should expect no better treatment. Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. That it do. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Reborn chose his. Oh, we actually get a level 110. Weapon coffer? Really? What is my... I know what I have equipped as a level 90 weapon.
Truly bothersome business.
For the Lancer, anyway.
No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
It sounds like we got a regicide planned on our hands. Do you wish not only to take over the lands that have Omega stored under it, but also potentially all of Ul'dah itself? Hang on. You. Like Royal, I once made my way as a mercenary, and like her, I did more than a few things I'm not proud of. But never once did I betray my own. There are depths to which a man should not sink. Let us cling together. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstance of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Rauban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is almost done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and appraise Menphilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the Ascedescent held Royale in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. Tactics Ogre? Is there a reference in there? I know it occasionally does reference other games. I have yet to ever play a Tactics Ogre game, though, so I would not catch it if it was there. Oops. I always do that. I always do a random arm's length when I'm attempting to run, and so many people see it and think it's a cheer. Do not fault Sir Emmerich for being less than forthcoming. Yep, same thing. Same thing. Thancred, my god, could somebody get him some water? The quest title is the subtitle for one? Oh. I see.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
Huayu?
I know not what to say. Together with Reborn, Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
Damn, I do not do French very well, do I?
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters.
I mean, she could have just lied to you.
I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
If she changed so drastically, you'd assume maybe she got tempered, but then why work with Garlemald?
My thanks for coming, friends. Moenbryda, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
It's not like I can just summon it like a Keyblade.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
Does that mean a Keyblade is technically a blade of almost pure ether now that I think about it?
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
Is there any way to make, like, a battery attachment?
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Again, batteries.
It would seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
It is like a battery, but it doesn't actually retain the charge. We need a battery that retains the charge.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Well, if he's there by himself, it's not like he doesn't have permission to have people over.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Okay, that's freaky. Black hole?
Aye. Yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance.
Did something... Is there a gravity aeon?
It hath come to light that a number of scholars
Or primal,
in
excuse me.
various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
Oh no. It's like with the atom collider. If that thing's even a slight bit off, it'll create a small black hole and just completely engulf the facility. Did you guys accidentally do atom collision on accident?
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon.
Hey, I recognize the name.
If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
cutscene. I was kind of concerned it wouldn't let me move there for a second.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash.
I mean, from an outsider's perspective, it probably looks similar to a zombie apocalypse.
We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
I know people are used to tempering here, but, like, they have to realize that from an outsider, it's like, what do you mean people just have their entire souls obliterated?
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
It kind of feels like they maybe even attempt to just meteor nuke Eorzea, because that way, at the very least, they're thinking, oh, at least it won't spread everywhere else. If this is the only continent where it happens.
Making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
I don't know if it's so much as conquest as, oh my god, may it not spread to the rest of us.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature.
Not saying
One
it's
who
right,
stood
just...
higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone.
Not saying it's okay to nuke all of Eorzea, just that it's kind of understandable where the fear came from. Like, what do you mean you don't have any of this under control?
In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Voris Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me.
They were tempered before the moon was dropped. That is true, but at the same time, they kind of shared a goal with Bahamut, if you think about it. They were both on the edge of a big mad.
By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters.
The Garleans are afraid of the primal threat getting out, but simultaneously, Bahamut is pissed at what we did to all his followers. It kind of translates into the same goal.
Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve.
Kind of ironic to say while standing in the halls of Ul'dah, but...
I know you can hear me, monitorous scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Team, purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
The irony.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The Monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the Monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Uldar whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldar's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the Monitorists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Uldar.
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few.
The Monitorists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people.
We won't have a monarchy anymore, though.
For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
You stepping down, huh?
Nay, you jest.
I'm gonna make a democracy!
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue.
We have to think for ourselves!
As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way.
It ain't working with me as head right now.
When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monitorists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
But what if it doesn't work? It's not working now. So go for it, girl.
Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name.
You're not casting it aside, you're just making it better.
Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Transferring power to people you think will be able to handle it better is not the same thing as just throwing it away. Good intentions. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. And true, I think the only way for her to possibly get the people that she knows are corrupt, which is pretty much her entire cabinet, out of power is if she steps down too. So I think that's another reason for it. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is tenuous at best. To think the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. What else were we going to do with our day? Lest you forget, antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. We are not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason. True, we were presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Bren in particular, is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been any further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Rauban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moenbryda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, however, to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nonetheless, it is only a matter of time. Bren, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his braves with theirs? It would do much to restore the faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. I mean, do we have to make it a blade? We could always just make it more like an aether grenade. A little bit more simplistic and dangerous, but I mean, if it gets the job done. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Whereas something like a blade requires etherical stability to hold shape, a grenade is just concentrated aether go boom. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Rule's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate Ul'dah's riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. While we resolve on focusing the Ascian threat, pray devote your energies to assisting Alphino and the Crystal Braves. Okay, he's right outside. Really quickly, I want to look at something though. What level is this? 115. It gave us 310, so it's not too far off. Power-wise, from a legendary weapon, they're probably just trying to give you enough to get by. Wait, you've moved. Hello, are you sleeping well? You must be absolutely exhausted from saving the realm on a daily basis. Is everything in order? Are you ready to attend us? Not quite. Moenbryda has charged us with acquiring some rather esoteric manuscripts, but I'm afraid the task is proving to be nigh impossible. When the City of Learning was abandoned, a great many tomes were scattered and lost. How smoothly our research might proceed were we able to peruse the archives of yesteryear. We need a rare ore to modify the White Ore site, and Thancred solved the problem using only his link pearl. I mean, it's great and everything, but where's the fun in that? When one is in need of precious commodities, it helps to have friends in the right places. Fortunately, I'm well acquainted with the charming daughter of a successful Ul'dah import merchant. Those two have been telling me stories about the corrupted crystal formations that appeared following the calamity. I'll need more data before I can draw a conclusion, but I'm intrigued by the potential of their untapped energies. Maybe I should talk to them. I don't know. We were but striped adventurers, and the night we saw fire raining from the sky and a pillar of light scorching the heavens. What a sight it was, huh, Coatlet? Oh, that's right. Bahamut was probably only seen in Eorzea, wasn't he? So people who live on other continents are like, you had what happen? Although, how could they not see the moon? Hori and I were in eastern Thanalan when the colossal shards of Dalamud pierced the ground. We stood witness to the subsequent explosions of Aether, and watched dumbfounded as the swirling energy solidified into those twisted crystal structures that we now know so well. I'm now in 2.5, by the way, so only 25 more to go. Woo! We're getting there. Final Fantasy XIV marathon, technically. Pleasure as always. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for them. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for their benefit? Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugees' hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near the High Bridge. I doubt this man would have secured a quantity of weapons if we did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Brent, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that those clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you? Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at the High Bridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. We're gonna do a raid, technically. Not this kind of raid, but like an actual political raid. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Don't keep Captain Ilbert waiting too long. He might have to start without you. To the High Bridge. Which, this way. Battle on the big bridge again? Whatever I don't finish in this stream, a second one will more than likely do it. Yeah, I intend to. If I don't do it in this one, I can't go too long today. I only have until about 5. Maybe even 4. Depends. Depends on other people's schedules. Sometimes I don't know the exact of them until they let me know. But if I don't get it done today, I'll probably get it done tomorrow. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a person of your standing, and Commander Lovelure needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely on you without hesitation. Bait and switch. Now then, we should make for the Burning Wall, without delay, and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, run. Where am I going? This way. Weehaw. Yeah, unless it's like a fierce thunderstorm or something tomorrow and I can't stream, which has happened. But I do intend to get it done this weekend, if possible. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. Why bother with HP? Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool. You should have never come here. Okay, that one looks like... I can't tell if you're... you're probably a paladin, technically. First I was trying to tell if he was a thaumaturge or a cleric, but always go for healers first. Oops. Didn't mean to hit that. Put a warning here before there's like an hour-long cutscene at the end of 2.55. Okay, it is good to know, thank you. Just because I've had that happen with other streams and it didn't go well. So I appreciate knowing that's gonna be there. So I can try and plan ahead accordingly. Thankfully, I should, provided we don't have like terrible weather, have a longer day on Saturday to get it done. I don't understand. What's this all about? Ah. Yeah, that's a big gripe I have with a lot of the Hoyoverse content that I do, is sometimes they'll literally have 1 or 2 hour long cutscenes, and there's no stopping point in between for me to just log off and go, okay, I don't have time for a 2-hour adventure today. The game will warn me as well, but I thought it'd be helpful knowledge. No, I do appreciate it, thank you. As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard, and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levalure would be most disappointed. Damn it, a golden opportunity wasted. I mean, you did cut him down. Which, if he was so inexperienced and you're so experienced, I feel like that could have been avoided. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking down a Duskwhite sellsword we suspected may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames for the brass blades. Again, we were here to aid them. They were in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. I mean, accidentally killing a dude isn't exactly an oopsie-whoopsie, man. I will join the first in their hunt for the Duskwhite sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask you to deliver these weapons to Ul'dah in my stead. Entrust them to the third Yu-Hase. He will take care of the rest. Lethal combat is different than apprehension combat. A man of your caliber should know that. Warp times or tea breaks. Okay. He is where exactly? Okay, sort of on the strip. It's in a weird spot. Brand, it's a surprise. Resh wished me to thank you for helping us to rescue her from Castrom's Sentry. How fortunate that we could meet again so soon. Did you hear, my friend? I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Braves. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. But you've my deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthus. Know what brings you to here this day. Confiscated crate full of contraband. Pointy things. I'm just carrying around this big, huge thing. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Understood. Once we've catalogued the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? We all stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Riol is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dan merchants, whoever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything worth it all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. I don't know. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the Sharlayan processing plant. Time for the Fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Lane, for the freedom of all. I mean, how can you not trust Ilbert? He had a speech about how he'd cut off his own arm before betraying a friend. Yeah, and I had an ex who did the same sort of speech. Guess what? Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. He'd go on and on about how he can't stand men who would cheat on their partners, and guess what? Run a word, if you please. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. It's all about your actions, not your words. Let's see. Thanks for indulging my request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed, even though we're in the middle of public. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. Well, I mean, he killed a dude. There was only one box. That's not quite how the first told it. The Duskwights they were chasing, latest word is that we lost their trail. But you never saw him yourself. Not before the fighting started, and not after? Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, the days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, let's get back to it. Either the weapons are in a different location, or, I hate to say it, but maybe we're getting stabbed in the back, and they moved him but killed a dude to make it seem like, oh, he was just only guarding $1. I don't know. Ben, can you hear me? It's Tataru. Hey, Tataru, I got some books that you could maybe look through for me. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. And hang on. That was a weird S text. What am I looking at here? Unrecognized attempt to draw so much money from your card, but it's very clearly a scam because I don't use that bank. Yikes. Scammers. Good gracious. Why can we get so many of these now? Ones that aren't our banks trying to be like, oh, something took this much out of your account. Click this virus link in order to talk to a representative, or a package that you ordered can't be delivered. Click this link to resubmit all of your personal information, including your address and social security, to get it back. And it's like, I didn't order a package. I can tell you're a scam, man. But we get these like constantly now. It's driving me nuts. Thank you for coming so quickly. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most, determined lady by all indications. Determined lady, you say? What determination and what lady? Our guest is with the antecedent in the solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Moenbryda, Urianger. Oh, Lucia. The unexpected tidings from the north, borne by the Lord Commoner's second. What manner of wind bloweth this day? I'm so small. I feel so short. At this point, it would be more unnerving if he spoke plainly. Good of you to join us. We have much to discuss. It's no time for idle chatter.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
Yeah, we have. Literally like an hour ago.
I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard-Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
You sure it wasn't Bahamut? I know I can't say that because we're keeping it a secret, but everybody heard it.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald. Only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Urianger has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life.
Are all great dragons assigned to a star like their Genshin characters?
Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard-Soma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard-Soma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept? We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
Yeah, what am I doing exactly?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
You mean that literally or as a figure of speech? Would anyone from Kurthus actually like to explain dragons? Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Oriange said, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, at the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Belsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all throughout his victory a foregone conclusion. But his unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgar Somar, legendary guardian of Silver Tear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. It's like a bee when you whack their hive. They are defending their territory. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silver Tear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship Ceruleum engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen that cutscene, from 1.0. That same explosion transformed Silver Tear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether from malms around. Since it's more of like, it's sort of a Leviathan-type dragon, really snake-like, it wrapped entirely around the airship and dragged it down, but when it fell, it went boom. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center, a constant reminder of the fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emmerich's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Before I depart, I must needs speak with the antecedent in private, if you would be so kind. About what? Midgar Somar was once worshipped as the guardian deity of Silver Falls, yet there he has lain for 15 years. To be fair, I don't exactly know if that's the dragon's fault that he's just laid here. I mean, they were kind of all driven out. If not worse. Oh gods, if that charred monstrosity actually returned to life, I don't know what I'd do. We were able to locate the elusive manuscripts of the archives of the Thaumaturges Guild. I had not expected much with the new guild masters, but thankfully they were quite willing to accommodate us in our search. Though it may seem tedious when compared with the smiting of terrible foes, poring over crumbling scrolls is one of the Scion's most important duties. Without the illumination of knowledge, we but vainly flail as spectres in the dark. I traveled to Ul'dah to meet with Thancred's friend, the one who promised us that rare ore. Said she began cursing me with words I've only ever heard about from the mouth of pirates. I still have no idea what she was so angry about. In hindsight, maybe seeing a lady in my stead was not the wisest of decisions. Sending a lady in my stead was not the wisest of decisions. Pray ignore my ramblings. She assumed Ida was the new girlfriend, not realizing that I think all of Thancred's women are technically the other woman. He is a bit of a playboy. I'm pushing ahead with my research as quickly as I dare. The next time you face an Ascian, I would have you fight with the proper weapon in hand. Again, maybe we should speak with the kobolds and make ourselves an aether grenade. Just an idea. Crude, but effective. Where am I going? Ooh, hello, puffy pink rhino. This way. Oh, hello? It's got like a whole goofy search party up here. Sharing a brain cell. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Are you kidding me? What the heck? Yeah, there we go. There's the dragon in the ship that I was talking about. Wrapped and coiled all around it. You're in luck. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Centauri, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for quite some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of some spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then, the Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again? Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. Sounds like another dungeon. Yep. I bet this person's doing the same thing, so it'd be funny if... Oh, I can go in with NPCs. Sorry, my dude. But, where is Paladin? I'm on a time limit. I got deadlines. Ah, he's so big up close. Last one in A Realm Reborn, huh? Then we're getting there. Bit by bit. Crabs, because it's technically in the lake. Crabs be like, we can make a habitat out of this. Why did they name it that, though? The Codpiece Clipper. You might as well name it the Dick Snipper. What the hell? That's what that means. But yeah, see up top for Shatter. I made that a little bit bigger, so that it's easier for me to notice. Also should move this down here once I get the chance. forgetting to do stuff like that. Oop. Get to see behind the curtain. There you go. But less clutter for you guys. What is that? What are you supposed to be? You're like a salamander mixed with a, what are those creatures called? The really freaky ones that have a bit of everything. They're cute, they look like ducks, but they're mammals. Platypus! Platypus. It looks like a little bit like a weird platypus. Couldn't think of the word. Ooh. Well, I'll go bye-bye. Ring of Casting, I'll probably turn that in for seals. That's another thing I've been doing, is just gathering a whole bunch of treasure from seals. My poor armory chest is finally starting to feel a little bit of relief since I'm finally either turning things into prisms or getting rid of it by turning them into seals, because I need those seals for that weapon. And now that I have mastered all the classes for ARR, I don't need to hang on to the old stuff anymore. It can go bye-bye. It gets donated to the Maelstrom Goodwill. That is a large charge up for not that big of an attack. You two have so much HP. Here's a boss. Einhander. I'm doing Norse names up here, huh? Dragons all go by Nordic conventions for naming? Okay, I don't know what this is about. Cylinders, bombs, are those old bombs? That is a Gatling gun. Yeah, I see, they're gonna periodically explode. Maybe I should pay attention. It's fine. More bombs. After one goes in the center? I'm assuming just get to the outside since it's in the center. Oh, that's why. They knew where it was gonna blow up. And I didn't. Once again. Fingy's not fast enough, but... it's almost dead. It's fine, I only have 2 vulnerability stacks of stupid. I'll hang with you guys this time, just this once. I dare not ask how they learned to use explosives like that. Already possessed a whatever of casting that I got. Also, I do not mind if people talk about stuff from 1.0 just because I don't count it as a spoiler, if only for the fact that you can't play the game anymore. A spoiler would imply it's a project that I eventually intend to get to, and in the case of Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, I cannot. I know some people are trying to recreate it on their own servers, but that's something that might take a while, if ever. Okay, that's different. Can I, like, get in here, or nope? You just randomly fling stuff at me, or what? Oh, I bet that field inductor... Is it this? There it goes. My dude's been in jail for several years. I guess he doesn't need to eat. Did the Sharlayans make you solar powered? How does this work exactly? Draw them over to the switch as soon as I got their attention. Oh, come on. Get over here. Get! Don't be weird about it. Get your butts over here. Oof. Didn't see that one coming. Key fell out of your, let's go, back pocket. Why did the mech have it? Agitate gunship. A little different. Oh, it's a continuous. That's different. I expected it to be a one and done, like every other boss so far. But you just do continuous hurt. Turds, don't stand there. Okay, now that I know it does continuous fire breath, I'll stay out of the way. Damn it! Damn it! No! 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 Oh yikes! Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Healer, please, for the love of God. In the meantime, uh oh. Ow! So do you like, revive yourself, or how does this work? I guess so. These are the guys the boatman mentioned? What do you mean? Oh, the people that were, coming from Garlemald to get in here to here. And steal whatever it is they're after. I figured that much. It's just, it feels like those machines have been there longer. Would the healer like to maybe... You can't do big pulls with NPCs, Bren. You can't do big pulls with NPCs. Healer only has, like, Cure 1. They don't put on regen or anything. I did a stupid and played as if I had other people with me. My bad. Gotta go slow. Now we can do the second pull. Because NPC healers don't have access to their whole array of skills. They also attack and heal at set intervals rather than back to back. I tried to get my shield to go off, but I got paralyzed. Conjurer, would you like to maybe... No? Okay. There's one flying. Assuming we're almost at the top. It's because the boat's starting to narrow out here. Is exactly blowing this open? Preset Garlemald explosives?
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet?
It's still alive. What is with you dragons and not needing full bodies to be alive? God, it's gonna be like the Bayonetta fight where the dragon sticks its head in through the church and you gotta smack it around. You're not gonna take off with this whole thing, are you? Usually these you want to remain on the outside. I remember that with the Great Wall. Otherwise it smacks you into oblivion. Okay, that I don't know. Oh, this way. Blue means run away. Just like the Chimera fight. Okay, that usually means take out something? Yes? No? Or he's enjoying the chorus once more. Odd fight. Seems somber too. Feels more like it's just charging than anything else. As soon as Family from Turmoil is done, we're probably gonna want to move somewhere. Not there though. I thought it was gonna be closer when they went off. Okay, now that is more like what we faced in the other final boss. Okay, the whole floor is just lava. Damn it, I thought you were dead. You were not. I never know when that's fully gonna... So thou art gifted. Stack up. Oop! It's just continuously going. Stand where they stand. Trust the programming process. Yeah, trying to figure out the one that lasts for 5 seconds can be a little bit difficult with the North American ping. Which apparently the ping isn't even a thing in Japan, because the servers are so much closer than us. They don't do slide casting there. They go off and yeah, Mama was a primal, but at the same time I still don't fully understand dragons. Thanks, team! Anything else? Just the usual? Cool. Let's go. I feel like there's a lot that remains unsaid about dragons still. there was a whole civilization of them and we're just not going to talk about that.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. 7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution.
What of the other 6?
I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen.
Can I just do that at will?
Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent.
So this is technically after the Coil of Bahamut, so he is dealt with at this point. Well, thankfully I've already done it, so...
Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
So when I finally archive it, it should be in closer to the appropriate order. Oof. Is that gonna do something? What the hell? Again! Dragons! With the piercing people through the light. Through the chest. Hello? Is this a dragon hello? Well, not through my heart. It was too dead center. My crystals. The light's going out. How are you deactivating them? Also, this thing we're standing on, does it remind me anybody else of the Kingdom Hearts areas at the very beginning where you choose your Keyblade? And it stands on basically a portrait of your heart. Do I need to defeat 4 fiends, or however many there were, to get the light back? Final Fantasy I style?
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine.
Would you like to explain to me what you just did?
I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
You can just do that?
Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
I mean, he is almost sort of feels like a god, though, doesn't he? He's not a primal, but to have the power to strip the Mother Crystal of her hold on me. What are you? It's a baby. I look so amused.
The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait.
So you're like a phoenix. You were just reborn, but now you're teeny weeny. In a totally different shape.
Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
So, am I just glued to this thing? I can't tell if it's an enemy or not. You may summon Midgard Somar by selecting the corresponding entry within the minion guide under character in the main menu. You became a pet. I have so many questions. What the hell was that? I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions I saw? Yeah, did you see the light? Did it, like, change the time of day down here? But you shouldn't waste time talking with me. Alphino left a message stating that you would return to the Rising Stones at once. Yeah, Minfilia, I lost my superpowers, and there's a baby dragon in my back pocket. What do I do? Help. Also, he said he would drink of her life force. Does he mean he will just regain his strength over time, or is he going to literally consume the crystal of all her energy and use it to devastate mankind? Are dragons enemies to the crystals? Have you spoken with Commander Levalure yet? He has been pacing again. 12 saved me. It's coming? What should we do? Oh, he's not? We were able to locate the elusive manuscripts of the archives of the Thaumaturge's Guild. Okay, same as before. Then these are the same too. That Lady Knight from Ishgard cuts quite a gallant figure, doesn't she? So you can briefly explain some basics on dragons, so long as it's not a spoiler to current Final Fantasy. I'm fine if it's a spoiler from 1.0, like I said, since that game literally cannot be played, but so long as it's not a spoiler for future quests. Truth interpreted is truth transformed. Today heroes may yet become tomorrow's gods, or something else. Maybe he's the else. Welcome home. Alphino was worried sick about you. Why don't you go and see? Set his mind at ease. Praise the 12 that you are hale and whole. Actually, not so much on the whole part. I came as soon as Minfilia informed me of Sir Emmerich's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it. Then I would hear your report. So, conversed with Midgard Somar. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the worm did not perish, and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years. Less a resurrection and more of a rejuvenation of he who dwelleth in entirety, years passing as moments. That may be too, if he lived so long, maybe to him, the war feels like merely seconds or hours or days ago. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgard Sommer in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravinian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as such. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As if I wasn't draconian enough. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emmerich's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. But what if they interrogate us and ask us different questions? We need to have our story straight, Alphino. Is there something you're not telling us? You seem different somehow. 'Tis almost as if you're missing something. Something important. Yeah, my magic. 'Twill forfend. Midgard Sommer stripped you of your blessing of light. Are you all right? How do you feel? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. Any way to reactivate it? It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgard Sommer made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Althik and Nemea, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgard Sommer ever watched over the source, from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and it was not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself? Well, if he was watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. I don't know if they'd understand it as much anyway. Art thou a pawn or a master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? So you really do just follow me around, huh? I'm possessed. I'm possessed by a small lizard. I'm a big lizard possessed by a tiny lizard. I'm being ratatouilleed.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wormlord and lived to tell the tale.
Yep, sure did.
I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
Okay, two in Eorzea or any other. That implies that Dravanians occupy other continents.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Also, is that the best thing to have told them, that they're awakening? Like every other beast tribe, is there more to it than this, and did we just make it worse? Okay, one sec. Mainly clarifying some things, so Bahamut is one of Midgardsormr's spring. Bahamut was mainly angry at the Alligans, who were wiped out, and at the end of the 3rd era, we are now in the 8th era. Oh, so that was a long-ass time ago. Also, Bahamut came from a place called Miracida. Yeah, I think he mentioned it once. Something along those lines. Mercidia, something of the sort. The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravinians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. Offspring, sorry. Midgardsormr's offsprings. So Bahamut is the son of Midgardsormr's? But he's also a primal. That's interesting. But yet he is not a primal. Maybe the belief in their prince is what allowed him to become as so. Same with Great King Mogglmog the 12th? It's 12th, right? The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravinians for centuries. Nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not one of their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgardsormr who roared, a call to arms by one of the First Brood cannot be ignored. First Brood? That implies that dragons sort of almost came out of existence out of nowhere. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. Ether on demand. We gotta get ourselves some sort of supply. Ere I forget, I believe Moenbryda has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. As the reception of the Rising Stones, it's my job to receive all manner of guests with due courtesy. I've had to memorize the political positions and military ranks of half a dozen different nations. We do not give her enough credit. We really, really don't. It's not said in the game anywhere, but dragons reproduce asexually? Huh. Spyro style. Because that's the thing in Spyro too, is that they're not actually... they come from the earth. Dragons are basically magic generators that are born from the magic within the earth to basically make more magic. I must confess, the relationship between those crystal formations and the destruction of Ascians quite escapes me. Which also, funny enough, means that the dragons have no gender either. All done with your talk of dragons. Never. Never. It's an interest of mine. Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the Solar, shall we? Such statuesque beauty, and possessed of a mind for research to mask her belly for hard liquor. What does a woman of so many charms see in a musty old Oriange? I'm telling you, Thancred, keep pestering Moenbryda, and the only thing you'll become intimate with is her axe. I've seen no reports of suspicious masked men in Gridania, that is certain. Mayhap they weave their dark plots in other lands. I keep my senses strained for signs of Ascian activity, but there's little news to be had. Having their schemes reach some critical step, the silence is most disturbing. The First Brood is another name for Midgardsormr's 7th children, but that still implies that there wasn't, like, a whole race of dragons yet. Unless they're being weird about the language.
now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
When did you have time to work on that between all the drinking and partying?
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
You know, when I made the Pokeball joke, I wasn't being literal, but okay.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods?
Does this universe have nethicite? Because that can store aether for long periods, and it can come out in one hell of a burst, too.
Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
But isn't that going to have the same effect as summoning a primal? In terms of, like, draining the life force out of the land?
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Moenbryda.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
Is there any way to conduct it like electricity?
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing.
Because, I mean, energy transportation is a thing. Power lines exist for a reason. I just don't know how it would work for this particular type of, energy.
But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength.
Yeah, they're all coming back into their old haunting grounds like ants.
Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
To be fair, a lot of the people who are working with Garlemald at the moment in Eorzea are originally recruited from Eorzea. They might not have a place to go back to.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alfino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangrid and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moenbryda. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Arianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
There's another dragon's name you have been given at this point. The Dragoon questline, yes. I'm trying to remember what dragon name it gave me, though. Though I have little doubt you will prevail against the Empire's forces, I shall pray for your success nonetheless. Our very future may depend upon Moenbryda being free to peruse her experiments. I know there's the whole thing with, like, 2 eyes from the Dragoon quest that I did. It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilfred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ul'dah. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you've got the support of the front lines. Do I remember whose eye it was? No. I know it was also some Nordic name, I think. Just can't remember which one. Your duties take you to Northern Thanalan, do you not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Vlahaman travels to Ul'dah, so that we should serve as our escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. In past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a unified front, or we shall fall. Ah, how extraordinary that my little Ascilia has involved in such far-reaching affairs. I'm proud that I might now stand by her side, not only as a mother, but also a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Ah, woe betide the blackguard that so much as gleans in your direction. Nidhogg, thank you. To be fair, we never actually got to see Nidhogg, it was just only mildly mentioned. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way, then? Though we seem to have the ability to somewhat possess people. Astinian, that's his name. It seemed to slightly have overtaken Astinian there a bit. Not the same as a full tempering, but nonetheless. For a small organization, we certainly chew through a prodigious amount of foodstuffs. Perhaps I should put a lock on the larder door. We do seem to be running low on provisions. I believe an excursion to the marketplace is in order. Yeah, everybody left. So am I just gonna, like, hope and pray that my superpowers come back? I feel like it's juggling a lot of different plot points at the end here. So much so, I kinda doubt that we're gonna have time to get to them all in A Realm Reborn. Commander Levalure sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I would think we can't handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Roban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on resources found there at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein, that we might coordinate a counter-strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Captain Nightmare, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian draughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices. Devices of Imperial design, no less. By my order, the Flame stationed there are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we are unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat by now. In the meantime, our scouts will be troubling news on the latest movements of the Imperial army. But once again ask for your aid. On the counteroffensive. We should just share a report. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squad seen leaving the Castrum are too far in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field the moment this assault head on. I've appraised your fellow Scions of the situation, and am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pre-report to Lieutenant Elaine, and lend your much welcome strength to the counteroffensive. To war. Protect the magic gasoline. Considering the weapon they wield, I don't believe the lady is in need of our additional protection. Be it a squad of soldiers or some magitech explosity, I shall allow no form to harm the lovely Moenbryda. This man crushes quite often, doesn't he? Is he a playboy, or does he genuinely get that degree of crushes on people? Have you ever seen Moon swing her axe? Swipe, slice, cleave, there's really no stopping her. Now that is an impressive piece of steel. Let's take a look at that thing. Yes, that is an impressive piece of steel. Oops. Isn't it a beauty? A lady merchant in Revenant's Toll simply gave it to me. Said she was investing in the future or some such. Right then. Why can't I get someone investing in my future when I do the relic weapon trials? That sounds nice. Time to see if this training has paid off. Ralgar, guide my blade. Glad to have you with us. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castra Meridinia. The main column assembles to the north of Dalamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bid you and your fellows come lend a hand at the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them out of here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We have enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It would best avoid this staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of those storage tanks be exposed to fire. It really is blue gasoline. If there's no objection, the Scions shall join this Fourth and give a battle to the main column. You're with the Third then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be intercepting these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyuhase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. A pleasure be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, that better conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts. I will need to split ourselves up and cover more ground, and make sure to root out all the would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This'll be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. A search and destroy? You guys made it seem more like we would be facing off against an entire army. Are they really setting up a new camp, or are they just coming back to get their stuff? Okay, next one's up north. I haven't popped the dragon mini in my inventory. Oh. 1 second. I don't see him. Maybe he automatically goes in. Midgard Solmar. Yeah, he's already in, I think. Father of Dragons, Keeper of the Lake, Bane of the 14th Legion. While it is difficult to believe the Yalm Long Pup could be any of these things, he assures you his current form is only temporary while he awaits the reconstruction of a new corporeal vessel. Yeah, must auto-add him. Oh, I got a new skill. What is you? Intervention reduces target party members' damage taken by 10%. Increases damage reduction by an additional 10% if Rampart or Sentinel are active. Okay, so it stacks. But I think it does it for other party members, like maybe if the healer is being targeted. This didn't used to be here either. Bulwark. Block incoming attacks. Duration 10 seconds. Impervious to most attacks. So I think these two are very similar. Which is why paladins almost always take point. They have a better ability to withstand being smacked around a little bit, as opposed to warriors. You seem grim, Scion. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another one of the Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the Fourth, and let Lieutenant Alain know that the West is now clear. I would appreciate if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. That wasn't as big as they were kind of hyping it up to be. There was only a couple of dudes. Captain Nightmare, what news of the Garleans? The raiding parties are no more then? Excellent. The Yamagina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. The uninvited Ascian, Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Moenbryda's well-being. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Elaine has reported a sound victory over at the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Rogadin lady with the large axe. 'Twould appear she has chosen to remain in the sight of battle. I know not what keeps her from returning to civilization. But northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sword such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you would check in on her before you continue on your way. Maybe she's testing her ether thing? Her staff? There is stuff going on where I need to be.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know, as Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
Yeah, well, Urianger doesn't know what he's talking about then, and he's managed to insult both of us.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
I still have that, at least.
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan. Keeper of knowledge. Seeker of truth. Meddler.
Maybe you didn't strip me of my powers. Maybe they're just really, really dampened.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of Lahabrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
You already know that we can't... Why would we be building this thing if... just swinging the axe worked?
You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken.
What seal? The seal that housed all the other crystals? I am very curious too. Is it completely gone? Or maybe because Midgard Sommer is like wandering around, maybe he's technically weaning off of whatever light Hydaelyn is giving to me. So it's not that my connection with her is broken. Maybe he's just feeding off of it. I don't know.
Now is the time to claim the stuff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Suar's staff.
was gonna say, it's not ours.
Danger.
You would have taken
We
it.
have to get back to the Rising Stones.
So you will say the Echo and the Blessing of Light are different. I figured they're a little bit different, but I don't know fully to what extent. If I'm right, and the Ascian is after Tupismati, then we best make all haste back to the Rising Stones. Minfilia must be warned. Can we, like, get her a guard of some sort? Because I swear to God. I swear to Heidelin. Something is always coming after her, and she's always while she's alone. Well, actually not always when she's alone. The last time she had company and they all got gunned down. Can we get, like, a specialized guard for Minfilia? I need to take a drink. I'm gonna cough otherwise. Sorry. Yeah, because the one time we had a whole bunch of people here, they just... Oh, not massacred, but still. A lot of them were also not fighters. They were more bookkeepers. You're here. My point being is we should know better by now than to leave Minfilia by herself. Master Louis's staff is kept in the Solar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You two.
I swear it's not my fault.
So, you were able to divine my intent.
You did say it for
What
me.
now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you.
Haha, very funny pun.
The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on.
That implies that they have already a established physical form, though. Or maybe a better one.
I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
It didn't work the last time. Can we try magic or something instead?
Moenbryda!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
We might need to try out that crystal, lads.
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
To be fair, he was standing in a field with an absolute abundance of it.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Not to mention, similar to what happened with Shiva, it did also possess him and his Aether.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well.
Which means she's
if
important.
You will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
Jump in, girl! Quit staring! It's not our first foray into the corridor of darkness. Let's go! Quit staring like a fish!
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
We don't need to have to quit staring at it! Get your scaly butt. If Moenbryda can survive and they need her alive, then get your ass through the portal. Alright, apparently though this is a dungeon? It's a raid, which means we can't do it by ourselves. The chrysalis. Oh no. I might wanna... should I join as something else? For faster times. I want to go in as a tank if possible, but if it doesn't insta-pop, I might need to try healer again. Just because I will run out of time otherwise. Ooh. Kinda wish it was possible to... Oh, hey, I'm in the amphitheater too. Did you find her? Withdraw! Withdraw! Where is it? Acrylic. Thank you. This is the last normal hard trial for a Realm Reborn. Okay, did you find her? I just fear I'm gonna run out of time somehow. On my end, if I don't queue up fast enough. Okay, there's no parties waiting for that either. I guess canonically we're waiting for reinforcements to join me? It's kind of weird that it's meant to be a go 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 moment and you have to wait for people to come and join you. Oh, and there's nobody else here either. This place really should not be allowed to be empty. I'm also at the end of 2.5. That means 2.55 will likely be the next video. Yeah! Come on, DPS. I believe in you. DPS. DPS. Thank you. $16 more quests to go. Chrysalis. Which also implies a butterfly? Or something else to emerge. Don't be creepy about it, man. You're weird enough as is. Nope. I remember years ago how people hated this fight. They're asking in the chat if people know how to do this one, and I'm like, no. Oh shit, we're going. Summon. Big shield for you. Ruination from the deepest pits of the abyss, I summon thee. Whoa! Where the heck does it want me? Me sucker. Oh, for fuck's sake. B. Left. Arise! Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Blanket healing. I don't know where people want to be. Sucker again. Go. This one could use some healing. Come on, let me. Trying to keep an eye on everybody. We're also halfway, so let's lucid dream. Almost everybody has shield. Some of the DPS are a tad out, but because you're not close enough when I cast. Okay. I trusted you. I trusted you, and that did not go to my favor. Oh gosh, I do not know where I should be. Not there. Okay, everybody got a shield? You don't have a shield. Healer first. We can fix anything else. Damn it! It's trying to target your ass. Oh gosh. Why me? He's doing the thing. Are we going in the hole? We're going in the hole. Ice reversed. Hello? What is this? Damn it. For the people most vulnerable. all came out different spots. There we go. Secret Ascian man. Very funny. Instead of secret agent man. But I can harm him when he's in the realm of darkness, but why not the realm of light? His whole thing in the realm of light is that he's untouchable. But on this side, we're able to kick his ass. Nobody's left, it's just me. I'm in Philia. My thanks. Good. I'll get through the portal.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
Are you? You okay? Oh, his hood's down.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come?
Old body versus new body?
Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
The fact that you're not doing it now implies that you are actually still weak, because otherwise you would take it while we're weak. We gonna give that Pokeball a shot?
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No. Cannot. No.
Cosmic power, itty bitty living space.
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free.
How long is he gonna stay in there? Like, maybe move quickly.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light.
But that would still imply that I have the Blessing of Light, wouldn't it? That's not just an echo thing.
Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the Blessing of Light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me. I shall make you pay for your insolence.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light.
Can't you put some of your Aether in it like before? Do you not have any like the other Scions do?
Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moenbryda, what are you doing?
Master Louis Soir, I understand now. The choice you made.
Oh, you're gonna use all of yours, but that's gonna kill you, isn't it?
In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You damned old coot.
But we only got to know you for one episode.
Moenbryda, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end!
Well, if he's approximately made of the ether of one soul, I guess we have the power of one soul plus the crystals. That should do it.
I am eternal! I am immortal!
Granted, it's not a method we ever want to use twice.
Moenbryda. She's gone.
I'm starting to have questions. Can Minfilia, like, not use magic? Because every time
You did it, my friend.
this kind of stuff happens, she always just stays in the back.
This device is a legacy of Moenbryda's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you alright?
If you guys had gotten back 5 minutes earlier.
I am.
Also, do we not possess link pearls to call people and say, shit's going down, get back here?
Oh, we were surveying northern Sharlayan when we received the distress call.
Oh, we did.
We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
No, we don't.
What happened here? Where is Moenbryda?
We need to keep somebody with Minfilia at all times.
She gave her life to temper the blade of light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
Does now.
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moenbryda hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moenbryda and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louis Soir. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Sharlayan behind, Master Louis Soir gave no word to signal his intent to Moenbryda. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louis Soir I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louis Soir hid his intent. He but desired that Moenbryda discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louis Soir's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moenbryda truly come to understand Master Louis Soir's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her.
She's still dead, man.
Moenbryda, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
The way he speaks, it makes it hard to tell if he's grieving or not.
Moenbryda gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Aether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moenbryda in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
What the heck is over there that is so important? Especially when Minfilia only ever really went through this because she was left alone. People call Urianger old, but I think he's in his mid to late 30s. It kind of depends, I guess, with the rest of the party. And to be fair, since we never really see his full face, well, I know we see it later because of trailers, but it makes him seem a lot older than he actually is, perhaps. Our list of grievances against the Ascians was already overlong. Must they continue to add to it? We would have arrived a few moments sooner, just a few moments. She was counting on the theory that a soul aether burns brightest at the moments of its passing, a scholar until the very end. Or that a soul equals a soul. Oh, Moon, I miss you so much already. He's 29? I'm guessing you looked it up. I wonder what he is compared to the rest of the cast, though. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. I can't tell how hard he's grieving, because he's kind of unusual about it. We shall gather in the Sharlayan Manor to celebrate Moenbryda's life, and mourn her passing. Free materia. Someone died. Cue fanfare. that is about all the time that I have at the moment, so I will have to do the rest potentially at a later date. So we've made it significantly far, which means by the next episode I should be able to wrap it up. And then if I have remaining days, I can work on the relic weapon after that, even if it's immediately after A Realm Reborn ends. I might start going directly for... Oops, wrong one. Going for the relic weapon before I start the whatever quest comes after Before the Dawn, since the game keeps repeating me, telling me that that's the last one. Since I doubt the game would deny me access to areas. It's just not how MMOs roll. The grind must be kept eternal, after all. Yep, only have 2.55 left. That means I got 2.4 and 2.50 out of the way. That means I can cross off 2 more ticks on my list. So that means that just leaves the second half of the Nexus weapon, the Zodiac weapon, and then if anything for the Zeta weapon. And like I said, I want to get the MSQ out of the way now that I've done all the other important side quest stuff. Just because I want to get it out of the way before hiatus, and if I can't get the relic stuff done within the next 5 days, since that's how long I have left on my subscription, then I'll just roll it over until post-hiatus, immediately finish the Zodiac weapon, and then jump into Heavensward. But because of how condensed it's going to be because of Dawntrail, and I know for a fact with every other game, including this one, that when something too major happens, my ability with my really crappy internet to even get in this game or have things processed correctly does not go so well, and yeah, it would give me a chance to get to other things as well. I've looked a little bit into it without spoilers, and there's some Final Fantasies I'd maybe like to revisit prior to Heavensward, just for a little more context. So I won't be going for too long, like I said, a month or two from Final Fantasy, and then I'll jump back into it, but in the meantime, that'll give me time to catch up on my other projects, let everybody who's crazy about Dawntrail coming out do their own thing in their own time, so that way we're not conflicting with one another and the servers aren't too congested in my area, which otherwise they would be. That happens with Genshin as well. I always give it like 1 to 3 days before I jump into any new Hoyoverse updates, because by God, the lag is real. So that's true here as well, and I'm just gonna give it the time and space it needs, work on stuff, and then I'll be back. So for now, this is where I'm going to leave off the stream, which is 16's MSQ log. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, MSQ's long, as in there's 16 segments in 2.55, you mean? Okay. I understand. Yeah, we should be able to get it done in hopefully one go, especially since it's a longer day for me to have time to do stuff tomorrow. But this is where I'm going to end it. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Like and subscribe if you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV content in the future. And I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye!